today's session will be more on Microsoft Power BI, and it will be from end to end. Fine. So I'll start from the scratch. So I'll just give you the brief introduction to Microsoft Power BI. So as you know, this is from Microsoft. So Microsoft has various products in its portfolio, and Power BI is one of the BI is for business intelligence. So basically, Power BI, or you can say the competitor Tableau, these are the BI tools to make data visualization. So you have a data set. So once you have a data set, you want to make graphs, you want to make a dashboard so that you can see what exactly is happening all across, right? And that dashboard will be automatically updated whenever the new data is entered in the data set. For example, today you have 100 records in your data set. Tomorrow there are, like, let's say 10 more transactions. So it will be 110, right? So it should automatically update your dashboard. So that's the most important part about Power BI. It's not like just drag and drop and make it beautiful dashboard. It's not a drawing. It's about giving you perception. Like it's like you want to understand holistically what exactly is happening. For example, if you want to see on your HR data set, you really want to see what is the, for example, employee chunk rate or anything, KPIs, whatever KPIs you want to see on your dashboard, and you have to play with the data. You can filter out particular state, you can filter out particular employee, or etc etc. So you should be able to do everything from your dashboard. You don't have to go to data set and filter out on your data and see what exactly is happening, because it's really challenging while you're working on data, right? So basically, what is the initial step is, like, you have to clean your data. Once you have injected means once you have inputted your data inside any BI tool, for example, Power BI, then you have to clean it, because sometimes there are spaces, sometimes there is something else. So for cleaning part, you can use Power Query, as we discussed yesterday, or you can use Power BI itself, right? So once the data is cleaned, then you have to transform your data. By transforming is like you have to manipulate, you have to change or modify, like what we do in Excel is pivot, right? So we pivot to make it summarized data. So here also we do pivot to summarize the data and make it more appealing, right? So this is the purpose of Power BI. So now I'll start with the interface part. Once the interface is pretty much clear, then I'll take one example data set, and then we'll try to make a dashboard, right? So this is the Power BI desktop, as you can see over here. Yeah. So this is my ribbon with file, home, insert, modeling, view, optimize, help, external tools. This is quite similar to Microsoft Excel, because same, it is from Microsoft umbrella, right? So they try to build in the same format so that it's user friendly. It is easier for you to transform. So for example, you are really good in Excel, like all other people are, right? So if you try to learn Tableau versus trying to learn Power BI, I am pretty sure you will find Power BI easier than Tableau, because Power BI has almost similar interface as Excel, unlike Tableau. So as you can see in Home tab, you can see cut, copy, paste. Right now it is not active because I have not done anything. Then get data is similar to getting any particular data. For example, if I have to inject data from Excel, right? So I'll just select Excel and then select particular data set. So this is all used to have the data from all the places. Come again? All good? Yeah, so going ahead, in this, we have Excel workbook. So this is like a shortcut. You can use Excel workbook here, or you can use here as well, right? And this is one like data hub. So if you have Power BI data sets or data marts, so right now you don't need to work on this. This is advanced level, and this is not used much, right? Then SQL Server, if you have data in SQL Server databases, you can directly inject data from there, or you can enter manually the data from here. Like if you click here, you can enter your data from here. You can create the columns and rows, right? Then Dataverse, again, not required right now. Recent sources, if you have any sources, you can use this. Transform data is similar to Power Query. So as explained yesterday, if you have a data, you can click on transform data, it will redirect to Power Query, right? These are not relevant right now. So now if I go to insert, so if you have to insert new visuals, so you can click here, or you can click on more visuals, you can select this. But right now, to be honest, this is not very important. You will understand this while you're practicing, and you will understand all the requirements of this. And once we are preparing the dashboard, you will understand automatically. This is view. So if you want to change the format of the dashboard, so for example, in Excel also you have the views, right? So if you want to make it dark as a background or different colors, so this is like a theme gallery. So if you want to have any particular theme, so you can use this. Then optimize. So if you want to optimize your data set, for example, you have uh, lakhs of data, right? So much of data is there. You want to optimize it so that you are not crashing the server, or the database is not slow. So while you're working on dashboard, it's not like it is loading in ages, right? You want it to load in seconds, milliseconds. So you can optimize your data from here, but it is also not required as of now, because currently we are working with small data sets, right? So now what we'll do is, here you can see there are three symbols. First tab is report view. As you can see over here, this is my report view. We are creating report or dashboard, as we say, right? This is my table view. If I click here, whatever table or data set we have installed or injected, it will show over here. Then finally, this is model view. All the relationships which are built between the tables, it will show over here, right? So this is the objective of this. And if you see on the right hand side, uh, this visualizations page, or you can say panel, here you can see various visuals. First is like stacked bar chart, then this is column chart, then we have pie chart, donut chart, gauge, as we discussed yesterday, right? This is my filter or slicer, you can say. This is table, this one is matrix. So we have all the visuals over here. And if you feel you need a different visual which is not listed here, you can click on three dots to get more visuals from the marketplace, and it is all free. Some are paid, but you don't need to go on that right now, right? So you can easily click here, right? So it will come here on the dashboard, or you can drag and drop, right? So once it is there, you can just start getting the data inside, and automatically the dashboard will be prepared. So once I had the data from Excel, these are the sheets in the Excel, right? ABC, age and salary, correlation, food and body weight, predicting pay line, salary, revenue and pay. So now we have to understand which data we are working on. So right now, this is my table, age and salary, then correlation. I first injected this table ABC, right? We have multiple columns. Now we have to see the data types for each and every column. And we saw hire date, the data type is text. We have to change it to date data type, because these are all hire dates, right? Secondly, all other columns totally fine, data type is totally fine. After this, what we have to do is we have to see the model view. Currently, we just have one table. That's why it's showing me one table over here. If we have multiple tables, let's say ABC, then we have DEF, and we have some columns which are in common. For example, employee ID in ABC, there is employee ID column in another table. I can connect these two employee IDs so that it is easier to play with the data. So I can easily connect and make the dashboard with multiple tables. So currently I have just one table. Maybe after creating this dashboard, I'll use multiple tables to make you understand that, right? Because that is really important. Now let's go directly to report view. Let's make 2-3 visuals to make it somewhat interesting. Let's just see what is the data. Let's say I want to see total job roles and monthly compensation. So I want to see, we have total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 distinct values, 10 distinct job roles. You can see over here as well. Total, there are 65 rows, 10 distinct values. So I have 10 different job roles. Now I want to see for each job role, what is my average monthly compensation? So if I say first is advertising consultant, for advertising consultant, there is only one record. So average will be same 32,426, right? So if I go for healthcare director, again, just one record. Let's go for laboratory technician. There are multiple records, right? For this laboratory technician, what is my average monthly compensation? So what I have to do is add all these numbers and divide by total number of records for laboratory technician. That is the logic, right? So what we'll do is we'll just go to dashboard. Let's click on table. Click on job role, or you can drag from here to the visual, right? I'll just zoom so that you can see everyone. So these are all the job roles which are mentioned in the table.
Can you just show it again? How did you drag it to the dashboard? Dashboard from where you have basically brought it?
Okay. So first option is just click on job role. If I
No,
click
no.
on,
How the dashboard is there now, because the Power Query option was there. No? Now how the dashboard has appeared.
oh, so if you are on this table, or okay, you are on Power Query. So are you on this table?
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
yeah. So you can close and apply, or if you have not applied anything, you can just close it. Done.
Yeah. So you mean to say from there we are basically, are we going to click on load?
From where?
I simply have to close and apply.
See, there are multiple ways. So you can either click on close and apply. So if you have made any changes in Power Query and you want those changes to appear on your desktop, right? Then you have to
Hmm.
click on close and apply. Or if you feel you have made some changes, but you don't want that forever, or you have not made any change, so you can just I simply click close. That will be very fast.
But it
Otherwise,
will load, you mean to say it will load the data again to Power BI?
so the power data is already there on Power BI. So once I close the interface of Power Query, it will work on the calculations or compute all the modifications you have done on Power Query, right? So if you
Hmm.
have done any changes, you can just simply click close. That is easy way. Otherwise, you can click on close and apply also. That's totally fine. It is same.
Okay. I'm doing it, but I'm not able to see the sheet data again.
Yeah.
The data cannot be seen again.
See,
Now, how to fetch the data again now?
you can see the data there.
No, 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 no. From where have you powered it?
See, the first step is I'll just tell you once again on this get data. If you click
Uh,
on Excel workbook, if your data source is .xlsx or Excel format, click on
uh,
Excel workbook, click
okay.
on the
On the
Excel
file
file.
itself. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will show me all the data sheets it has, the
Yes,
workbook.
so all data sheets are there. Yes, now.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So let's say I just add this as well because I already have ABC sheet in my data set, right?
So we are clicking it and doing the transform data.
You can click on load as well. I'll show you. So if I click on age and salary, let's select food and body weight. Let's select predictive pay line salary as well and click on load. It will directly just load over here. It will show me more tables in the right hand side.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see I already had ABC as my table. Now it has age and salary, it has body and weight, food and body and weight, and predicting pay line salary as well. So I can see there are four
So
tables
it's
now.
come.
So if I go to
Okay.
table view, I will see these four tables. I can select and see what exactly is the data in this particular table,
Okay. Okay.
right? And if I go to model view, now you can see there are multiple tables. You can just see drag and drop. and you can just connect if there is any relevant connection.
No, but from where are we reviewing this model view? From acha, from the title bar itself here.
Yeah, so there are three tabs, right? Report,
Uh-huh.
table view, and then we have model view,
Uh,
right?
okay. So
Now I
which
have
we,
redirected to report view. This is my report view. Here we will build the dashboard.
okay. And which of the sheet now we are going to build on? ABC? Same?
Yes. So currently we'll work on ABC only. I'll ignore age and salary, food and body weight, and predicting pay line salary.
Hmm.
Just focus on ABC. Let's start building a dashboard with ABC, and then
Yeah.
we'll make it more complex,
Okay. Okay.
right? So my first question is, if I have to create a simple visual where I need average compensation for each job title or job role. So how I can do it? First is I can select a table, right? So once I clicked on this visual, it will appear on the dashboard, right? Now I need to drag the job role. I'll just click there and drag in the visual. So far, so clear? Oops. Yeah. So
How have you dragged it?
I just clicked on job role
Uh,
and like with the cursor, that's it.
okay.
Like
Okay.
mouse cursor, just
Fine.
drag it the way you drag in any other tool or any
Fine.
other
Fine. Fine.
program.
Fine.
Yeah. Now, if you go to monthly compensation, this is what we have to work on. So either you can select a click and drag it to the visual, or you can see the columns here, right? This side. Can you see below the visualizations, you have columns, job role, and then blank.
Hmm.
So I'll just drag it towards this, right? Now it is showing me for all, like for each instance, laboratory technician, for each value, it is showing me this. What I need to do is just change the monthly compensation from here, or you can drag from this particular table. For example, we have ABC. Okay, for rather this, we have to use metrics. Yes. So here, as you can see, my job roles, we had total 10 job roles: advertising, consultant, healthcare, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 job roles, I can see there are, for advertising consultant, there is one employee. For healthcare director, there is one employee. For healthcare representative, there are four. So this is how there are total 65 employees, right? For sales representative, there is four, executive 10. So you can do whatever you want to do it from here. We can use the first, last, count of distinct, count, show value as, percentage of grand total, column total, whatever you want to do it from here. You can do conditional formatting on this on the basis of the numbers. And then this is my total employees. So from here, you can change the name of the column. So now it is making sense. Initially, it was count of compensation. That was not making sense. Now it is making sense that in advertising consultant, there is just one employee. In this particular job role, there are four employees. Now I can add the compensation part as well over here. Again, if I add compensation, okay. Now the important part comes in. So anyone who has heard about DAX? So DAX is a language which is understood by Power Query. So DAX is data analysis expressions, and this is something where you have to use some kind of coding. It is very easy. So for example, I need to have the average monthly compensation for each and every job role. So what I'll do is just click on the three dots, click on new measure. So if I click on new measure, this will open particular bar where the measure equal to will appear. So I just need to click average compensation. So I'll define what is average compensation. Power BI doesn't know what is average compensation. I say average compensation is the average. It is the average of all the total compensation. So if I select compensation, it will redirect to the table ABC, the monthly compensation, right? It is the total of average compensation divided by, okay, it is already the average, it will understand, and bracket closed, and press enter. Now you can see average compensation, this measure has been created. You can see the calculator symbol. This shows that this is my measure. Now you just need to drag it over here. What this is showing me. It is showing me that this is my string. All right. So as you can see over here, my monthly compensation data type is text, right? So this is not right. For monthly compensation, it should be my number. These are all numbers. It should be whole number right now. So I'll just change it to whole number. Do you want to continue? Yes. Yeah, this has been changed. Now you can see my values are showing here. I can delete this minimum of monthly compensation that is not required. Now you can see for each job role, I can see the average compensation, right? So if you go back to raw data from here, how can you see the average compensation for each job role? In Excel, you might do the pivot table. So this is similar to pivot table. So if you do the pivot on job role and see and click on average monthly compensation, and you will see that, right? Similarly here, I have just created simple drag and drop, just one measure of average compensation. Average is a function, predefined function in Power BI. So you will take average of table name and the column which is there, right? Or instead of average, you can use the sum of this column divided by the count, because ultimately the average is the total sum divided by the count of the records, right? So, but this is straightforward. I have used average function, right? So I have created this metrics table where I have job roles on the left hand side. I have total employees for each job role, average compensation. Similarly, I can add monthly operating expense for each job role, work-life balance average, or total sick days for each and every employee, or average. Any questions so far?
Can you just repeat that average compensation, that particular part of it?
Venkat, your voice is echoing. Can you please repeat?
Well, I'm asking, can you please repeat the average compensation calculation part of it? Because I missed it off the way.
Okay. All right. So I'll just delete this. So my question is, if I have to add the average compensation for each job role, there are 10 job roles. I need to add one particular column of average compensation. Continue. So what we have to do is we have to get the average compensation, right? For average compensation, we have to create measures, because ultimately we can't just drag and drop every column and just get the average. No, that's not how it works. So whenever we have to do the calculations like average, count, sum, or do any sort of mathematical calculations, we have to create a measure, right? So either you can just click here and click on new measure, or you can just go on the ribbon and click on new measure. So I clicked on new measure, and this is how I defined average compensation. So average compensation will be the average. So average function, I'm using it, right? So you can see the average function shows me the average of the column name. You have to define the column name here. It will return the average, which is arithmetic mean, AM, arithmetic mean of all the numbers in a column, right? So here my average will be for the column compensations. I'll just select and like type COMP, it will show whatever it has, and then press tab. So if I clicked on tab, it will add the table as well as column, and then bracket close. So once I closed the bracket, my DAX formula is complete, and then press enter. Right? So now my DAX is complete. I can just select average compensation and add in the values field of the matrix table. You can see average compensation for each and every job role. Similarly, let's do one more measure for monthly operating expense. So if I want to have the monthly operating expense for the job roles, so I'll just select again the new measure. This is my, let's say I just select average of monthly operating expense as AVG MOE, right? Then it will be again the average of monthly operating expense, tab, bracket close, and press enter. These are pretty straightforward measures. So I'm just going step by step, right? So I'll just again select this and drag in the values field. Again, there is some challenge. Maybe this data type is text. Yeah. So I'll just change this data type to whole number. Yeah. So now you can see my total employees, average compensation, and then average MOE, right? Now, to make it more, visually appealing or visually, making it simpler, if I click on average MOE, you can see over here, we have formats, we have $sign, percentages, display the value in this column with commas, or the changing the number of decimal places. I want commas in these numbers, right? So if I click on average MOE and click on comma, right? Just see over here how it will change. So it will give me commas after 2 decimals, or you can say after 3 decimals from end, from unit place, it will give me a comma. So it makes it more easier to read. This is 12,000 something. This is 10,000 something, 10,000 something, 13,000 something, 9,000 something, right? So this is what it makes it appealing using the format. Similarly, for average compensation, I'll click there and click on the comma, and it will give the commas after 3 decimal places, right? So this is how we can make the measures, simple measures, and drag it and make the visuals, right? Similarly,
Anikant, I have just a question. In the new measures, can
yeah.
we also do percentile?
Ma'am wants to understand what is the percentile of that particular score within the entire cohort. Like, for example, correct me if I'm wrong, Nirmala ma'am.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
if by
that's it
example, I
exactly.
assume the percentile formula that we have in Excel. So, can we have something that we can replicate here?
Formula, but I'm sure if you can do in Excel, we can do it over here as well.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Anikant. Thank you.
No worries.
How
So
about giving it a try by experiencing it?
you want me to try now?
Yeah, yeah.
So can you help me with the percentile formula? Or you're saying that there's a straightforward percentile formula in Excel, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. In Excel, if you just look at formula, you just go to percentile and then it gives you a straightforward formula. Just
Okay.
like the way you put a chordal or you put a slope, intercept, all the formulas.
Okay.
The second one,
I've not used this.
percentile dot inc
Which one is that?
is equal to percentile dot inc, and then you select the data set. So monthly
Column we have to work
compensation,
on compensation.
yeah, and then comma 0.25. So that's the 25th percentile.
So now we have created this measure one, and I'll just drag it over here. Yeah, this is what it's showing me. I'm not sure if this is right or wrong, but this is what the formula is giving me.
Yeah, absolutely. This is right.
right? So I
Yeah.
can rename this measure to percentile. We call it 25th, or what exactly we call it?
We call it 25th,
Okay.
0.25, 25th percentile.
Or you can say 0.25 anyways. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for.
Anikant. Thank you.
So now we have total employees, average compensation, average MOE, percentile, which is 25th, right? We can now drag all these columns. So for example, you want percentile to be in the front. You can drag from here. You can see here. You can see my cursor, everyone. So you just drag it to the top in the values. It will give me in the front, right? So you can just drag according to your case requirements, and it will be fine, right? So this is how we can create the table. Let's make one visual. uh, let's get more like colors in the dashboard. Any suggestion with the data set? Any particular KPI you want me to create? Anyone? So what I'll do is I'll go for monthly operating expense. Let's take the bar chart, right? Let's go with the job role. Let's go with the average compensation. So now you can see here, I can add data labels and values to be none. Now you can see here my average compensation by job role. Highest is for manufacturing director. Second is advertising consultant, right? So this is how it is showing me visually that highest chunk is through manufacturing director, advertising consultant, and the lowest is for sales representative, right? So these are all average compensations. You can add more visuals here. You can add, let's say, average monthly compensation here. So for manufacturing director, this is my average compensation. In the darker color, it is my average MOE. So this is how the contribution for each job role I can create on, right? And then I can have instead of one bar, you can have two bars for one job role. So for that, you have to change the visual from this stacked bar chart. You have to make it clustered bar chart, right? Once you click on clustered bar chart, for manufacturing director, you can see the average compensation is lighter blue color, and then for average MOE, it's a darker blue color, right? So this is how you can create. Now, I'll just add one filter over here. Filter is this slicer. So if I click on slicer, right, make it smaller, and let's add, let's say, employee ID. Right. If I go to my visual settings, it is a drop down, right? So if I select particular employee ID, let's say 13, so it will filter for particular employee ID only, right?
Can you just repeat the how did you pick the slicer and prepare did it?
I'll just remove this. So my first step will be to add a slicer. So you can see in the visualizations panel, there is one visual called slicer, right? You just click it on the slicer. You will get this slicer. Just drag this and make it smaller, right? You can make it as small as possible, as big as possible, whatever shape you want, depending on your styling. right? Once you have this slicer, just add the employee ID. So employee ID, you can drag in the visual or you can add in the field here, right? Let's drag. Now you have this employee ID in vertical format. So whenever you want to change the settings for particular visual, you have to click on the format your visual, right? So when you click on format your visual, there are two tabs here, visual and general. So I just need to change the settings. So I'll click on visual slicer settings. In the options, there is a style option of vertical list, tile or drop down. If I click on tile, it will show me like this. Okay. So from here, you can select particular employee ID like this. You can select multiple as well if you have selected that. Otherwise, you can select drop down. So now if you click on that, then only it will show me the drop down, right? So if I select on employee ID 11, it will show me employee ID 11 is laboratory technician with these compensations. And these are the data for this particular person, right? After this, so ultimately, whenever you want to change the formatting, you have to click on that visual first. So for example, you want to change the formatting of this. Right now it is looking like dull. It's not a dashboard. You want to make some boundaries, borders to make it more appealing. Click on that visual, click on format your visual, right? And then click on general, click on effects. This is my background and then visual border. Click on. So there is a visual border now. Let's make it, let's say, darker blue with rounded corners. That's, let's say, 7 with some shadow to make it more appealing. Shadow of, let's say, again, darker blue. Offset is outside. It should be the center, let's say. Yeah. So this is how my visual is looking now. If I remove the selection, right? Now it looks similar to like we are going in the right direction of making a good dashboard, right? So this is one visual. Similarly, the best part is you don't have to again and again make the changes in the visual. So what you can do is the best hack, which I feel I have done since so many years. Click on that visual which you want, then click on format painter and then drag it and click on the visual which you want the same modification, similar to Excel, right? So you don't have to do it again and again. So as simple as that, you have made one more visual like this.
The same visual has been copy pasted here.
No, so visual has not been copy pasted, but the formatting, all the colors and the text style and everything has been copied from one visual to another.
Can you repeat it? How exactly we've been doing it?
So I'll just click on undo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, one more. Right now, I just have a beautiful visual of average compensation and average MOE by job role, right? My objective is to make this visual also look like the above one to make it more appealing. So instead of just clicking on this visual and going to the format your visual and making the same changes which I made it over here, I can click on the already formatted visual and click on format painter. Once this is clicked, you will see the highlighted one, and then go on the visual you want to make formatting on and then click. That's it. Yeah. So this is how you can copy the format from one visual to another. Any questions so far? All right. Anyway, so there is one more part I want to address in this. It is so dynamic that you can change it anytime. Let's say you want to have the filter of job compensation, sorry, job role instead of employee ID. So you just click job role. Let's make it tiles. Yeah, drag it at the right. So these are my job roles. I can make the title in the center as well. Not from this. Anyways. And just delete the header from here. So now my job role is there. All the job roles are here. Now, instead of adding the job role in this visual, I'll delete job role and add the employees. I don't have employee name, I guess. No. So I'll just add the employee ID instead, right? So now this data is for all the employees. Now, if I just want the data for healthcare director, or let's say I just want for sales representative, I click on sales representative. The data is for sales representative. There are four SRs, 27, 47, 42, 49, with their compensation and MOE, right? You can add the percentile as well. So that is a separate thing. But this is how you can change. Again, here also, instead of job role, I'll add the employee ID. And this is the table that has been created. I can select multiple filters and then you can work on that. Any questions so far? So you can see the zoom slicer at the bottom where my cursor is. So I can make the dashboard small, big to make it more easier to prepare. It's not related to the outcome. It is related to the preparation of dashboard. Right? Anyone, any question? I really want your input so that I can explain you in that direction, because there are so many things to explain, but I really want someone to say that this is not right, this is right. Can you explain this or that?
So is it possible to copy chart type formatting? So not just border or uh, the external formatting. If I want to copy the chart type or the colors used in the chart, if my chart type is the same in two visuals, but I want to copy the formatting of first one to the second one.
So this is what we have done from Format Painter. For example, this is one stack chart. Let's copy this.
No. So Format Painter is formatting, is copying the formatting only the border and the external colors, not the chart element itself.
So what exactly you want in this? So for
So
example,
if I have column chart, two column charts, in first column chart, my columns are blue, and second column chart column is green. I want to copy the same blue.
so that will be copied because that comes under Format Painter. Because, so for example, I just copy this and paste. There is one more visual here. Let's remove the paint. Let's make it new one, let's say, because otherwise it will be the same color.
No, just do the different color.
Yeah.
In the same visual.
In the same visual.
You had just copied.
Okay.
Just change the color of the second one.
So if I go to visual, then I go to bars. Let's say I change this color to green, orange, then this color to this one, let's say.
Yeah. Now let's see the effect
So
of
you're
formatting.
saying if I format this and go back,
Yeah.
1 second. Why it's not working? Yeah. So now if I try to format, Yeah. If I click on format paint, I click here. So now
Yeah,
see,
okay. Okay, it's
because,
working. Thank you.
all the colors, borders, everything comes under format painter,
Hmm.
right? So whatever color you make, but then if you click on format painter, it will give you the original version of whatever the source color is.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? In this, one more important part is it is all interactive. So for example, I just want to see for employee ID 1, I click on this particular row. Once I click this, it will show me only for one particular employee ID. So interaction is not there right now. What I'll do is, 1 second. So there is a option of format. Click on edit interaction. So once you have clicked this visual, it should work with this visual as well. So I have to filter this, right? So once I clicked on filter, now whenever I click on particular employee ID, it will show me for that employee ID in this visual only, right? That is to make it more logical and more united with all other data points. Because whenever you are working on particular selection, I want to see that selection. For example, I have selected employee ID 14. I want to see everything related to employee ID 14. So it will show me here. Otherwise, if the interaction is not there, so if it is highlighted, so it will not show me just for 14, it will show me for everything. And a 14 is highlighted. That's it. So there are three options. One is filter. If I click on filter, it will show me just 14. If I click on highlight, it will show me everything but 14 or whatever is selected is highlighted. If I click on none, then there is no filter. For example, if I click none, whatever I do, it will not impact this visual. So I'm saying to Power BI that whenever I click here in this visual, it should not change this visual. This is my constant visual, right? But general thumb rule is you should not use this much. It's either filter or highlight, right? So we have understood preparing on these basic visuals. Let's get more visuals on this. Total sick days. Let's work on total sick days for each employee. Maybe we can work on the scattered. This one is scatter chart, right? So if I click on sick days and on the x-axis is my job role. It's showing me what is my job role. Okay, job role is my text. So I cannot use this. Let's say if I use my performance score, remove values to display X and Y axis pair. Alternative, you can keep values and summarize. Okay. So I have to remove sick days right now. So if I click on job roles here, and let's say my performance score, so this is how you will work. For example, you are working on new data set and you are creating a particular visual. You will many a times encounter with these kind of errors. Like when I worked on scatter, it will show me remove values to display X and Y axis. Alternatively, you can keep values and set a summarization for X and Y axis. So how to decode this? So click on see details and see what exactly is the issue. So the computer is saying can't display this visual. Remove values to display X and Y axis pairs. Alternately, you can keep values and set a summarization for X and Y axis. right? So it is giving me performance score is not aligned with the data type it wants. It is my text. Again, it should be my whole number. All these things we have to take care in the first place, because all these sick days, employee engagement, these are not text, these are whole numbers, right? If I click on job satisfaction as well, this is my whole number. Work-life balance is my whole number. You can change all these data types from your Power Query as well. Yeah. So if I click here, so now this is my scatter plot for the performance score by job role, right? So you can see for each and every job role where my performance score is. Yeah. I can add one more thing. Let's say job satisfaction. So you can see I have added job satisfaction in size. So I can see for each and every performance score. So these are the performance scores, and the bubble size is giving me the job satisfaction. So job satisfaction is the best for laboratory technique.